Good evening, good evening. Come on in, come on in. Come on in. Let's talk, let's talk. You want to talk? Happy Friday. Let's talk. This is our Friday night nightcap. It's been a full week. Let's talk about the week. Let's do a recap for the week. Let's talk about the week. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hit the like button as you come on in. Listen, these $20 eggs got me motivated. The $20 eggs got me motivated to want to discuss the $20 eggs. How do you not discuss $20 eggs? You got to talk about it. It's just not normal. It just don't even sound right. Eggs, $20. Who would have thought that some people be like, I don't eat eggs. Why, girl? Because I can't afford it. It's out of my budget. That's for rich people. Y'all, eggs going to be like caviar. It'll be like, what do they say? Caviar is fish eggs. And now people going to be like, oh, I can't even eat the regular eggs. I already can't afford the caviar. Now I can't afford the regular eggs either. Come on in, hit the like button. Let me know if your money right, if you got your money up to where you can buy regular eggs. Because that's some rich people food now. The eggs is for the rich now, the elite. The elite eats eggs. Everybody, listen, everybody can't eat what they say. Everybody can't eat at the table. Everybody ain't got a seat at the table. Everybody ain't got an egg at the table. Everybody ain't got an egg. What is Easter going to be like? Think about it, now that I'm thinking about it as I'm on this live, Easter. Y'all think Easter going to hit the same this year? Hey, Josh, welcome. Hit the like button for me, please. Listen, how you think Easter going to be a little different this year? Y'all think they're going to be allowing them kids to dye eggs, go hide them out wherever, and go find them? They're gonna make them kids find every last one of them eggs. Look, we can't afford to leave no eggs unaccounted for. We hid 45 eggs. This Easter egg hunt will not be up until we find all 45 eggs. Period. OMG, the times we live in. The times we live in, child. Hey, welcome, Nicole, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all hit the like button, y'all. We having a conversation. We going to talk about a bunch of different things. But first things first, right now, these damn eggs take priority. I know folks getting damn shipped up out of here. Families getting broken up. God damn it, we got to talk about the eggs. We got to talk about the eggs. It's just so crazy because I'll be having these conversations with people, and then somehow somebody will find a way to insert, but the cost of the damn eggs. I'll look through comments and it'll be something random. Oh, Trump cussed Zelensky out. But damn, let's talk about the goddamn eggs. Can we talk about the eggs? I think people stuck on eggs who don't even eat eggs. Oh my God, how many of y'all gonna be playing around with them kids dying eggs? How many of y'all finna be going out there buying about 40 eggs, allowing your kids to dye them just so they can go hide them outside? We ain't got, listen, we can't afford to do Easter this year, y'all. We can't afford it. It ain't in the budget. Easter is not in the budget this year, kids. Welcome. Hit the like button for me as y'all come on in. Hey, Parker. Let me see. Parker said, hey, if you get the time, could you search up Roman 3:16? Yeah. Are you able to say what it is in the chat? Because, who knows if I'll remember to do that afterwards. And I can't go to it from my phone since I got this live going on. But if you can put it in the chat, that would be good. Thank you. Nicole, thank you for the subscription. 67 months say, I love you, did. So yes, that's why I'm like these eggs. So listen, I was seeing, did y'all see in the media that they were showing that, so y'all know in New York, they sell what they call Lucy's. That's a thing. I live in Georgia. I'm from California. I've never seen that be a thing here. It may be. I don't live in the actual inner city. So child, I don't know what but I don't think it's a thing here, but I don't know. I've always heard about it being a thing in New York where they have Lucy's, and that means you're buying like a single cigarette. Child, they got Lucy eggs now. Excuse me. I saw today that you can buy, they letting eggs go for $2.99. Let me see how much they letting them go. They letting them go. I think the ad said $2.99. I think each egg, I think it said it was either $1.99 or $2.99. Either way, it's still a lot for an egg. So that you can buy like a single egg now in New York, I guess at the, at the little store, the corner stores that they have. So when you in there buying your cigarette, you can be like, can I get one egg too, please? I'd like to have one cigarette and one egg. Here's my $5 and I need my change back. I need all my change back. So yes, that's the time we're in where you going in there and then all you can buy is maybe 3 eggs on a good day. You got 3 eggs. Listen, we can't do no 12. We can't do a dozen this pay period, kids. We got 3 on it. We got 3 on it today. We got 3. It's different type of times. Parker says, for the wages of the sin and death, but the gift of God is eternal life. Very true. The gift of God is eternal life. At this point, these times are so different. You all, I don't know if you get a chance, look at the last video I put out a couple of days ago on this channel. Make sure you follow me on TikTok as well. But these are definitely different times, and it's a time to definitely lean on a higher power, whatever that, that may be. But we need something other than just what we have before us that we can kind of see in the physical, because there's so much going on right now to where what we see in the physical, it's not giving us reassurance that everything is going to be okay. And it's been it's very heavy and full for a lot of people. So I think, if you lean in on your faith, that will help a lot of people to get through things, because many of us have experienced things like time and time again, and it was our faith that got us through. This is no different. This is no different. It's going to take faith to get us through. What else today? I did also see, speaking on eggs, I saw that now Kroger. So I live in Georgia, so we have a grocery store chain called Kroger's, Krogers. And I think it has an S on the end. Kroger's, and Walmart. So those 2 grocery stores are now accepting, from what I'm hearing, and I Googled it, and AI is saying yes. So Kroger's and Walmart are now accepting afterpay. So when you go through your self-checkout and you like, listen, child, these eggs $20. I got about $12 on me. I need to buy these eggs. There is an option for an afterpay. I think Karna, it might be called, where you can choose I guess normally I'm used to like an afterpay option is something where you have to qualify for. So I don't know if you got to stand in line and, as you're doing at the self-checkout, not stand in line, but as you're at the self-checkout, you're putting in your information to see if you can qualify for the afterpay. So yes, now from what I've learned, look it up, grocery stores are offering afterpay. So, but you got to be mindful of when you're dealing with afterpay, because you got that interest in things, when you're paying for something later. A lot of times there's like an interest fee taxed onto that. And sometimes they'll have deals where if you pay it off in X amount of time, you cannot get the extra fees, like the interest and things. But that is a paying option now, from what I've come to learn, for the grocery store chain Kroger and Walmart. Now, I don't know if you're using, I saw someone showing when you're doing self-checkout, being able to see it, but I don't know if when someone's ringing you up, if you can say, hey, listen, can I qualify? Can you see if I qualify for the afterpay? I don't know. You have to probably test that part out when you're, if an associate is ringing up your groceries, to see if whether or not they'll allow for you to use afterpay. But through the self-checkout, from my understanding, you should see the option for afterpay, and you can choose to, I guess, see if you're able to qualify for the afterpay. Child, you know we in different kind of times. If you got to use afterpay for your groceries, to me, it's giving layaway. Burlington Coat Factory layaway, where you putting some things on hold until you can kind of pay for it. But afterpay, from what I've been hearing, is a thing at the grocery store now. Parker Watson, you said, are you Christian? I don't identify myself as a Christian, but I will say my beliefs, or how I move, is probably more so in line of a Christian, but it's nothing I've subscribed to. I'm pretty much, if I attend a church, I like a non-denominational type church. I'm more so spiritual, so I don't really lean in on like a religious faith, but my beliefs do line up more on the Christian side. What's up, Foxhole? Long time no see. How are you? So yes, so times are hard. We got $20 dozen of eggs. We got afterpay in the for the groceries. But on a thanks, Foxhole, for clarifying, let the people know she's spiritual, not religious. So here's the thing, Foxhole. Let me Foxo, since you here, I ain't seen you in a while. I'm gonna if you don't mind. Foxo, I just changed you over to a moderator. I haven't seen you in a little bit, but I know who you are. So if you don't mind tonight, if you don't mind tonight, I gave you that, you can let me know if you don't want it, because some people don't like to do it. But I know you, so that's why I want to make you a moderator tonight. But what was I going to say? And if for good news, I did see that some federal workers who were told they were without a job, today a judge put a pause on their, thank you so much, Fox. So today the judge put a pause on their jobs ending. So I'm not quite sure what made them so special, as far as where the judge was like, okay, they can't do that or whatever, so we're going to put y'all's on hold. But, there's so many other people who've lost their jobs. So I don't know if this just going to be just a hot minute to where these people jobs are going to be saved, because it's held up by the judge. And I'm not even sure what state or where, but somehow a judge found a way to be like, no, y'all can't do this. You can't impact somebody's job you can't basically fire people who don't fall up underneath you or something. I don't know. Look into that. But there was a judge who did put a hold on the firing of a lot of federal workers. So that was a good thing for them. For me, I live in Georgia, so I did learn today that I think about 5 of our Social Security offices were closed, or temporary closed. So I don't know if that took effect today, or if today was the last day that it was open, but there's 5 locations. And from my understanding, Georgia has the most Social Security offices that were impacted. So I guess across the nation, there's different Social Security offices that have been closed temporary. They're doing these audits, and Georgia had the most, and we have 5. So where I live in my county, none were impacted, but there is one that's not that far from where I live that I did take notice of. That town is probably about maybe 35 minutes from me. That was probably like the closest city where I did see where their Social Security office was closed. Now, I was talking to my husband about it, and he was like, well, what's the deal? What's the reason? Because we're young, we don't have to go to a Social Security office. So he was like, well, what makes someone have to go to Social Security office? And I said, well, I would think like seniors and things like that, people who get some type of disability, some type of benefits through that. And I told him maybe, my late father-in-law, who's no longer with us, I'm sure back, when he was alive, he'd go to the office, have to go to the Social Security office to take care of business, because sometimes you can't do everything over the phone, and you have to go someplace to talk to someone in person. So usually there's going to be a Social Security office that's like within your community, like not that far away. So if you live in the USA, like there is like a social security office that's not that far from you. So now what I was explaining to him, I'm like, so let's just say you take an elderly person or someone who's getting some type of benefits through Social Security and they need to go to an office. They now have to drive further out to go to another location. And sometimes, first of all, sometimes people don't always have transportation. So they got to figure out, okay, how am I going to get there? I got to get a ride. And y'all know a lot of time old folks don't like change. They know the location they used to go into. They know it's up the street. They know the people name. They don't really like change. So now it's like, okay, that location that they're used to going to handle their business, it's no longer an option. So now they have to go to another location. And y'all know how it be when you go to another location. Sometimes things be done differently than the locations that you used to go to conduct business. So now you got to navigate through that with them kind of moving differently, you not knowing the people there, and then you now having to be patient with trying to get used to the new system, the new process, dealing with new people and things like that. So I would imagine that that's going to be a big inconvenience to a lot of people. Big inconvenience to a lot of people, but that's the situation we're in because they've closed many Social Security offices, I guess, across the nation. So Georgia, we have 5 that are closed. Y'all, when I say every day is something different. Today, before I went live, I was just looking through, on YouTube and just trying to get caught up with everything that's been transpiring this week. Today, let's start with even like yesterday. I don't think I did any content yesterday. My daughter, she started up soccer for the season. So we were at soccer practice, but I know during the day I was waiting to see if AG Pam Bondi, if she was going to do a press conference releasing the Epstein flight logs that she said she would likely do on Thursday, which was yesterday. That did not happen. So there was a lot of like talk centered around ideas as to why it may not have happened. So from my understanding as to why it did not happen is that she did not have the complete file like she had requested. So apparently she had maybe about 150 to 200 pages. And then right before, or, in the final hour, I say like she learned that, oh, snap, like someone drops a dime. She said, someone tells her, hey, it's in the thousands. There's thousands of pages. You do not have the half of it. So then that's when she kind of was like, okay, pause. And supposedly she's working on getting the rest of the files associated with Epstein and those flight logs and people who played a part in anything dealing with just inappropriate things surrounding Epstein and underage people, children. Woosah. So right now, she did send an email to the Cash Patel. He's the head of the SBI. Like, yo, I need everything. Not, I need everything. I've been asking for these documents before you were even sworn in. So now that you are in, I need to understand why I do not have the full documents, why I only have a piece of it. I need answers, sir. I need answers. So that was an email she sent Thursday. Oh, yeah. And then the email, she said, I need the full document. I need everything by 8 o'clock Friday, which is today. And word on the curb is she still didn't get it because she never did a press conference or anything like that. And the people were still waiting to learn more about the flight logs and all the details centered around the Epstein shenanigans. So my question is, do you think that list will actually be released? I don't know. I'm not feeling hopeful that it will. I don't know. I just feel like there's names on there that some of our favorite people, we would see on there, politicians, celebrities. I just think that if that full list was released, then it would just show. If we think we going through it now with just what we going through, if we were to see that list, I think it would just take it to a whole nother level with people spazzing on because of the names that they see on that list. It's that list that you don't want to see nobody you know or support on. It's just one of those types of lists. And that's why I've always questioned if it really would come out, because I just feel like once that list is put out, it's no takebacks. So when people see that list and see those names that are on that list, politicians, celebrities, whatever, just people baby, baby. Foxo says, I work in some what time do the industry okay, and they are panicking. So I'm on the phone typing fast. Fox says, guys, like Chic definitely goes live in the morning. We get our news, our word, our words, period. Yes, I go live normally in the morning, and it's not often I go live like in the evening like this. So if y'all catching me live like this, it's a rare occasion. It's not what I do. I'm more so a morning girly. That's usually when I'll do my content. More often than not, I would go live in the morning. I have a series called Car Chronicles, so I will just cover current events and things like that in my commute to wherever I'm going to the office that morning. So those are pretty exciting, because it's just a lot of information. Sometimes it can get crazy in there in the chat. So shout out to my mods that moderate in the mornings when I do my Car Chronicles. But tonight I said, hey, let's do a night recap of the week and just talk about just everything that's going on, because there's just a lot going on. Every day is something different, something different. I saw right before I hit live button, the last thing I looked at was I watched a press conference for Arkansas where they did arrests of like over 200 plus people. So check this out. They said that there was like 215 people that they arrested that represented 23 countries. 23 countries. Child, the way that man was reading off them lists, you would have thought that it was the Olympics, and he was just saying everybody who was representing the Olympics. He named off, I'm like, well, damn, who ain't on the list? He had Cuba on there, Honduras, like any country you can think of. It's like they were on the list where there was someone who was arrested that came from that country. So they also said there was about, I think, 200 plus people who were also arrested who were actually citizens. So they was like, some of the people was like citizens. So not everybody was like illegal immigrants. And I think they said it was like 15,000 pounds of, I don't know if it was 15,000 pounds of cocaine, some crazy number of drugs, some rifles. Like, it was a big bust. And with the change in the law since Trump has been in place, before, as I talked about it on one of my Car Chronicles, so before the law was, if someone, like, even if they're a legal immigrant, they're arrested, they go to jail, have to go to court. They can't be sent back anywhere or whatever unless they are convicted. So the way the Biden administration had it set up is that you couldn't be deported or sent back unless you were found guilty. So that means, say if they picked you up, you go to jail, you bail out, you can get back out there on the streets and make it do what it do. But now with the Trump administration, they're not requiring for the person to be convicted before they're sending them back home. They're like, listen, we really ain't even really finna be dealing with a lot of stuff like that. We're trying to listen. We just sending you back home, and we gonna let them deal with you, and you go into your own people, your own country's system. We're not doing that. And I heard Florida talk about that. Maybe it was like earlier this week when I listened to them do a press conference, and they talked about how they have so many illegal immigrants, like how at their jail, like they don't have enough beds, and they have them sleeping on floors because their facility, like one of the locations, only have maybe like 2,000 beds, and they have more people there than that, so they're sleeping on floors. But the thing that they are grateful about is that they no longer have to keep those people here and in the jail until they go through the court system, get convicted. They don't have to do that. So basically now, as they're rounding these people up, the illegal immigrants, and if they're, accused of doing a crime, and they're saying, hey, we're sending you back home. We're not gonna wait until you see a judge, get found guilty. We ain't doing all that. We ain't got time for all that. We don't have the resources for that. We're not doing that anymore. And that just takes too long. What we not gonna do is wait for a judge to hit his gavel and say, you guilty. We not doing that. We pick you up. We identify that you don't belong here and you are here at doing the absolute most. Your ass getting sent back home. Period. That is the type of time that our government is on today. And I'm here for it because, child, we ain't got time to be playing. We got $20 eggs out here. We got enough struggles. We got enough struggles. Let me see. Foxholes, yes, yes, chic. I still watch Rose got me mad selling boots. What a joke. I don't even know what that person, what Rose is doing. I haven't seen none of her content since 2024. I have her stuff, all her stuff blocked. So honestly don't know what's going on with that woman to even have an opinion. Word on the curb is she's still doing the same old nonsense. So that was enough for me to keep moving on with life. Like I said, we out here struggling with $20 eggs. I can't do her and $20 eggs. Listen, I'm stretched thin. I am stretched thin. Foxo said, do we as black and brown people truly care? Midnight, happy Friday, midnight shenanigans. Foxwo says, or do they really care, Chic? No, I don't think so. I mean, I believe that we live in a society, it's centered around the haves and the have-nots. Foxwo said they had black people, they said black people help. Black people said, how we about to help. Yeah, like we as black people, we know struggle. That's all, we're very used to struggle. And I think the Hispanic community knows struggle too. All brown people know some type of struggle. We've just had struggle on different levels. But I would say that no one's struggle has ever been on the level of what our struggle have been like throughout time. But brown people, black and brown people, yes, we've definitely endured a lot of struggle. So this is just what life is for us. So we get through it. We're survivors. So that's the thing about, I think, why black people, why we, as black people, I can speak as a black woman, why I have the strength. It's just embedded in me and my bloodline. It's just like we're just used to adversity. We're used to having to work 10 times harder than the next person. And even when you are the harder worker or the one that's most qualified, just because you have a strike against you just because of what you look like. So, I mean, it is what it is. The struggle, Foxo, is real. The struggle is real. What's up, police station? Real me. Hello. Y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in here. How y'all doing? We getting into some things tonight. $20 egg. Listen, $20 eggs got me up doing a damn live. I don't even do late lives like this. So welcome y'all. If y'all new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. But normally I do not do lives at night. I am an AM girl. I do car chronicles. Check out my content, but I talk politics. Foxo says, I bought chicken. So listen, it was so funny. I was talking to a family member today, and she was like, I called my mama and I asked her what she doing. She said, oh, I'm making breakfast for me and your dad. And she was like, oh, what you making? She says, I'm making eggs and bacon. She was like, wait a minute, y'all rich. Y'all rich. You talking about eggs, y'all rich. Mind you, they live in the country in the sticks. She told the parent, oh, y'all rich if y'all over there making eggs. She said she paid more for the eggs than she did the bacon. So listen to this, y'all. What I did also learn today is that when you go, so keep this in mind, y'all, when y'all going to go to these restaurants for breakfast. So what I learned is that places like Denny's, so I live in Georgia, so we have a restaurant chain called Denny's, and then we have Waffle House. Waffle House is big in the South. I don't know where all Denny's is. I'm from California, so I grew up eating Denny's, so I do know that's on West Coast also. But Waffle House is known, it's in the South, so I'm in Georgia. So what I learned is that places like Denny's and Waffle House, they're going to add a additional charge for items that require eggs. So if you're wanting to order eggs, child, listen, you got to damn pay for that. So I'm thinking, if you're wanting to order eggs, if you're what you're ordering, I guess calls for eggs to be a part of the ingredient, you about to pay for that. Now, you already know the meal itself already some of us don't even need to be in there because we don't even really got the money to be paying for the plate. Now they're saying, hey, we're going to add an additional charge to the bill because of the egg ingredient that maybe, that's included in whatever you order. So just be mindful of that as you're going to restaurants. If you do see where there's an additional charge or say, I don't know, hopefully they let you know beforehand because you don't want to be surprised and you get your bill and you see this extra fee, like, well, what is this? And I'll be like, oh, ma'am, yeah, them pancakes, it calls for us to have to use eggs. So, eggs are $20. Yeah, Foxhole Sound from New Jersey. So Foxhole here in Georgia in the South, we have a restaurant called Waffle House. So it's super popular. They're all over. Think about IHOP. You guys in New Jersey, you may have IHOP, but that's a popular food chain as well, but it's a breakfast place. So Waffle House has other food that's not breakfast, but it's called Waffle House. So it's mainly known for its breakfast. So yeah, you're going to have to pay extra for things that, for the eggs. What else I learned centered around eggs? So I was watching this news story of this business owner in New York, and he has a bakery, and he had the nerve to say every day they go through 30 dozen of eggs to make their pastries or whatever. 30 dozens. I think when I did the math on that, it was like over 300 eggs every day. And he talking about, yeah, we probably gonna have to start going up on our prices on our pastry. I'm like, hell, what the hell you mean going up? Why y'all already ain't started going up? I was like, eggs in New York don't work with my bank account because New York already is expensive in itself. Then you want to throw eggs up in the mix too. I can't do New York and eggs. What they say, pick a struggle. I can't do New York and I can't do eggs. And you got the nerve to have them both together in New York buying eggs. Yes, that man said, I'm gonna have to probably go up on prices. So listen, I would have already listen before the news people even came. I would already started talking about, yeah, we went up on prices 2 weeks. I would have already been talking about how I had to go up on prices and the reason why, not still contemplating the idea. May the good Lord be with him, given that he's still playing around with the idea when he going through 30 dozen a day. 30 dozen. Imagine having a business, you're going through 30 dozen of eggs per day. Foxo said my eggs cost $7 a dozen. So what I've heard is that depending on the quality of eggs that you're buying in the store, the price is going to vary. So I think as we talk about $20 a dozen, I think those are going to be the more high-end eggs. I guess the organic eggs. I don't damn know. I don't know if it's from the chickens who vegan, the vegan chicken eggs. I don't know. But I learned today about eggs that you got, your different quality of eggs, and some are going to cost more. So I think at the highest end of the different eggs that are sold, they're going for $20 a dozen because the eggs I'm buying, Fox, so I'm closer down there with the, definitely under the $10. I don't really buy eggs. So my husband, at his job, he works with a woman who actually has chickens and things like that. So she brings eggs to work and he buys the eggs from her. And he's been doing that for maybe about 3-4 months. And he pays like $12 for a dozen. So I guess that comes down to like $1 an egg. And he's been doing that for a really long time. So we really don't buy eggs out of the store, but it's just, a better quality of eggs with him getting them from her since she kind of, has her chickens, do everything, take care. Listen, child, we know what the hell we think, what's going on with her chickens versus the ones that's going through, the farms, and we see these stories as far as what the quality of what these chickens are, and then they're hatching these eggs, and this is what's going in the grocery store. Have y'all seen any of them stories where you'll see like what the condition of the animals are, like the condition of the cows, the condition of the chickens and things like that, and this is like where our food is coming from. I've seen those stories like on like Netflix. They'll show specials and things like that. So yeah, so we get our eggs from someone who my husband knows who chickens, guess hatch the eggs, and she sells them to the people, I guess, at the school. He works at a school. So that's pretty much how we've been getting our eggs. So I'm not quite sure how much they're going for in the store, but the last times I bought them, I think probably from Walmart for a dozen, I was paying It was maybe about five, under $7, probably no more than $6. So it wasn't to me anything too crazy, but I don't really, use eggs a lot. So I just know it's a big deal going on right now because everybody talking about it. Everybody like F whatever is going on with Zelensky, Russia, whatever. What the fuck going on with these eggs? So that's why my attention is on eggs because everybody is inserting eggs into every conversation. I'll go into the comments. Y'all, they said Diddy got another 90 days in lockdown. Fuck that. What's going on with the eggs? It's like nobody care about nothing else but these doggone eggs. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, what's going on with the eggs? People gonna lose their mind behind these eggs. For real, for real. But moving on, moving on. Morning Gardner, what's up? He says it's not just eggs, it's groceries, fuel, rent, costs, clothing, all are going up with the effect on administration. Exactly, because Morning Gardeners, when I started out earlier on this live, I talked about how at the grocery stores, I learned today that now they're offering afterpay option. So at Kroger, which is a grocery store chain that I have here in Georgia, in Walmart, when you go through the checkout, I know I saw, them showing when you're going through self-checkout, there's going to be an option that's going to come up for you to choose. I think it's Karna. You guys ever heard of like the Karna pay option? So that's like where you can choose to break out your bill over the course of like 6 weeks. So every 2 weeks, you can have it set up to do an auto draft from your account. Because usually anytime you're doing like your afterpay services, because I've used them before, it's every, they're just debiting your account usually it's every 2 weeks, starting from the time, I don't do it all the time. I'm saying I've done it before, just like where it's like, okay, I needed to do something, purchase something, and I had to do it. But child, it ain't no habit. It ain't no habit. It's one of those kind of like a one and done, maybe once or twice I've done it, but no. And I'm learning more about it, but so I know how it works. So you'll do it, and then every 2 weeks or whatever, it'll draft, out of your account or whatever. So the first times, no, I've never done like a afterpay for a service that I've offered. I'm saying I have done the afterpay for purchasing a service. So if I needed something at that time and I needed it then, like usually it's always been like some big, online. It's like, oh, I need this right now, and I needed to spend a good amount of money for the quantity I needed for whatever, my family size, whatever. I'll utilize that service. So I've never had like a bad experience, so it's worked out fine for me when I've done it. But it's not something that I've done a whole lot or I want to do a lot, because you can get caught up with using those afterpay. When you're doing those afterpay options, be mindful of the interest rates that are assessed on them. Because what I'm learning is that it may say, hey, it's no interest, but let's just say if you miss a payment, or they say they try to draft a payment and the money's not there, you can get hit with like fees and things like that. And when you do the calculation of based like that fee that it hits you, it might be like 40%, like a 40% charge, like on top of whatever it is that you owe. So you have to be mindful of that. So be careful with that as you're going through these stores, and you're seeing it as an option. Because I started knowing, I was recently telling my mom like that over the last maybe 4 months, I've noticed that a lot of vendors, like when I'm just online shopping, doing whatever, I'm seeing the option for the afterpay, where that's an option for you to get the product utilizing that, as a payment option. So just be mindful of it. Sometimes, you don't have it and you got to do what you got to do. But just be mindful of it when you are using it. Make sure you're understanding what it entails. If it's make sure you got you first, you need to make sure you understand that they gonna automatically draft it. So just first have that understanding. Keep in mind that it's going to the schedule is going to start from that day. So if it's on a Tuesday and that you utilize that service, that is starting 2 weeks from that day is going to be the next time they're going to draft the payment. Not 2 weeks from whatever your pay period is, 2 weeks from that day. What I recommend and what I like to do, say if I do opt to use any type of pay later service or like that. The times I have, it haven't been a lot of times, just a few, just not a lot at all that I've done it. I'm cognizant on the day that I'm doing it because I know it's starting from then. That's the biweekly schedule. That's when it starts. So if I know, hey, I wanted to come out again on a certain day, for it to land on a certain day, like every 2 weeks, every around 15th, like you got to think about what day you're starting it on because, child, listen, you just better put thought into that thing because, like I said, you do it on a Tuesday, every 2 weeks on a Tuesday, they're going to draft it versus if you do it on a Friday, every 2 weeks on a Friday is when they'll take it out, which may work out for you if your pay period falls on a Friday. You see what I'm saying? You got to be strategic about it because a lot of times, people will miss that part and they'll just be focused on getting their product at that moment and not really thinking about the parameters around like the payment option and things like that for that product. And then they just be messed up when it's time to like pay that back. And then when they miss them payments, like I said, them fees start to get attached. And child, you got you a whole nother situation. You got a whole nother situation. Morning Garden says, I grow so much of my food, it feels unfair because of my knowledge base. I can grow what I want to eat. That's awesome. I mean, my mother's been getting me to try to get into gardening ever since like during the pandemic. I have seeds. I have, I just haven't, listen, I just haven't brought it to myself to get out there and play around in that dirt to try to grow something. But I have been in conversation about trying to get there with, trying to just grow my own food and things like that. But I don't know anything about gardening. But I'm sure it would behoove me to damn learn something because things are going up as far as with cost and pricing. And I do have a backyard. So it's just me kind of getting out of my comfort to try to do something like that as far as with having a garden. But I think it's wonderful that you do have a garden and anyone who does have a garden. I did see out there that a lot of the farmers right now are not happy as far as with the Trump administration and the funding because some of the government resources that they rely on to upkeep their farm and to have things to be ready for like the spring and the crops and things that they need to have ready, like they're unable to do that because of, with the freeze on things. So they're like, okay, it's going to impact with them being able to have certain foods and produce, things like that, vegetables, fruits, whatever, in the stores for us because they're not getting the resources that they need today to be able to prep to grow the things that need to be available to us as consumers in the springtime. And, many of them have the priority of wanting to give the people good, fresh, fruits, vegetables, things like that. And they're like, well, hey, if we're not getting what we need today to be able to do that, to be ready for spring, to get that on the shelves, then like we SOL. So over time, we may start to see the shelves when it comes to like maybe fruits and vegetables, things like that, don't not look the same, be a little bare. Because from what I'm hearing, the reason why egg prices are so high is because of the bird flu and then I guess a lot of chickens testing positive for bird flu. So that's what I'm hearing is the justification of the rising cost on the eggs. So that was something new to me that I learned today. So some of you all may have heard that before, may not, but supposedly that's why the cost, I guess, again, supply and a demand. Foxhole said that's a joke. I heard that too, Foxhole. Well, I heard that too. So today I heard about that and I repeated it, and then someone was like, "No, that's a lie. That's a lie." So that was what I heard today as the justification. But some believe that no, they just raising the cost on these things because they know we need it. So they're just wanting to raise the cost. Yep. Foxo said they need to keep us bound. Yep. So yeah, so that's why, I would just want to put that out there of what they're saying. But it's up to you. What do you believe? All we know, it's beyond a belief. We just know eggs $20. So that don't have nothing to do with no belief. That is against my belief for eggs to be $20. If only the world could work that way. It don't sit right in my soul to pay $20 for eggs. So that's why the eggs are only $2. So yeah, it's a lot. So that's what they're saying as to what's going on with the eggs. I guess it's supply and demand. If let's see, F34 says eggs $20 where y'all live on the moon. So what I was saying is like it's based off of you're going to have different price points for eggs. So you're going to have some eggs that are still $10 or maybe even lower. But what I've seen today is that you have some eggs in some places are upwards of $20 based on the quality of the egg. So we, with different food items we eat, you have like different qualities. And you got some eggs that just like with meats, you have some eggs that are going to cost more than others. So what I've learned today, with listening to the talk centered around eggs, is that there are some eggs that are as much as $20. So those are probably going to be more of the organic eggs, child. Like I said, I don't know if those eggs, the $20 eggs coming from the chickens they eat on a vegan diet. I don't know. But there are some brands of eggs that are as much as $20. Also, we got to think about what region people live in. So I talked about someone living in New York and them telling their story about the challenges and the purchase of eggs. I happen to live in Georgia. Georgia is the South. Georgia, the southern states, is typically known for being a cheaper place to live. Things are cheaper. And then there's California. I'm from California, but I do know that California things are more expensive there. So keep that in mind, with when we talk about eggs being $20 to where you may not see them $20 where you're at, but they may be $20 in another part of the nation where the cost of things are higher. So Foxwell says the brown eggs are cheaper in my area. F34 says $2.99, $5 a buck max in Michigan. Okay. So yeah, but that's the thing. If you look, in the news outlets, there are people talking about it being upwards of $20. I don't buy eggs. Really, I can't remember last time I bought eggs. So I can't say I've seen them $20. I'm going to pay attention to the price the next time I go in the store when I look at eggs. I don't get my eggs from the grocery stores. We have a private person who we get eggs from. So I'll have to just pay attention just to peep over and see what price in Georgia where I live to see what the eggs are going for, like, as far as from the cheaper end. And even when I was buying eggs, I was not buying the more expensive eggs, them brown colored. Listen, I was getting the white ones. I was getting the white ones. And so when I was buying eggs, they was like maybe yeah, like $5, under $5. Just I never typically bought more than like a dozen. So I would probably pay maybe around $4, for a dozen the last time that I've bought eggs. So it's been some months. So I'm gonna kind of try to take a notice of, what here where I live at in Georgia, what I'm seeing the cost of eggs are. F34 says, I get the simple nature, the $2.99 brown. Okay. Foxo said, yeah, now the white ones are more expensive. That's interesting that the white ones are more expensive. Yeah, because that's the only kind I ever bought. But the ones, that my husband brings home that he buys from a coworker, they're not white, they're brown. They're none of them. It's almost like they look different. They're brown, maybe it's kind of like a greenish color, like they're coming directly. They're not going through all that with the bleaching and all of that stuff that when you're getting eggs that come from like the farms and stuff like that. And just, they don't look like that. So they're just coming straight from the woman's chicken farm. So yeah, so it's just a different time. The fact that we got to have a conversation about eggs is just crazy, crazy work. The discolored more natural. Okay, Foxhole. Yeah. So like I said, they all look different like on Easter when you got all the eggs that you dyed and they look different. That's how our eggs be looking. But yeah, my husband, he's really into health, so he just anything he learned, they got wrongful stuff in it, he'll remove it and he'll try to find other alternatives for us to eat. So we've been kind of getting those discolored eggs for some months now. So that's but we paid $12 a dozen for them. So, it's all right. But, that's what we have budgeted in. So, what else I wanted to talk about? Did you all see the meeting I guess it was at the White House with President Trump, JD Vance, the the vice president we hardly ever see. A couple weeks ago, I forgot that the hell he was the vice president. I'm like, wait a damn minute, because you see Elon already always with them. It was so funny. I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me about, what's going on at the VA hospital with all the layoffs and the job losses. And he made a comment of saying, yeah, because, Elon, he the vice president. Child, my friend thought that Elon was the vice president. I said, hold up, what you say? He said, Elon, he the vice president. Like, no, the hell he ain't. I know it gives that. But he ain't the vice president. But I understand how you thought that was the case. I said, no, JD Vance is. He like, well, hell, where the hell he at? I understand. We ain't, I don't know what JD be doing. But no, listen. So it was so to see Vance in the White House and it wasn't Elon. I don't know what the hell Elon was at. But to see Vance in the White House, that was refreshing to see him in there, Loudpack say you should. So we saw Vance in there, and he was saying it with his chest to the Zelensky child. It was like it was on site up in there. Y'all, how many of y'all thought some furniture was about to get moved around in there? How many of y'all thought somebody was finna smell somebody cologne up in there? I was like, I went ahead, so I was just hearing about, because remember, y'all being all in caught up and trying to figure out what's going on with these eggs to where I missed the showdown for the Zelensky stuff. So finally tonight, I said, okay, let me get into the Zelensky because I've been damn distracted by the goddamn $20 eggs. So I found this clip of, it was like a 7-minute clip of like the interaction. Child, it definitely gave some furniture was about to be moved around in there. But it was a lot of like masculine energy in there or whatever, but everybody was pretty much in there saying it with their chest. I will say that. Roscoe said it's a shit show. And listen, the fact that it was broadcast on TV, like for everybody to see, like I've never seen anything like it. But what took me out is when Trump referred to Biden and said that what he called him stupid. He said that stupid man, that which he was referring to Biden. I said, oh Lord, the way he said it, I translated of him saying that stupid ass Biden. But it's just he threw licks. What they say, how somebody would catch stray. Biden caught a stray. Obama caught a stray. Hillary Clinton caught a stray. He talked about all of them because Zelensky was talking about, well, they said what had been happening, and Biden and Trump was like, yeah, because of the stupid ish that they was doing and the policies that they was doing, that they shouldn't have damn been doing that. It's a new day today, so I need you to put some respect on our name. I need you to put some respect on the American name, sir. So it would behoove you to put these shenanigans, whatever you got going on with this war, what you trying to do, it would behoove you to call it truce today, because without us, he said that war wouldn't have lasted longer than 2 weeks, y'all, 14 days. He basically said that war would have been the length of a damn menstrual cycle. He said without us, it would have been the length of the time of a menstrual cycle. So stop playing. Don't play with me, sir. Do not play with me. Don't be in here trying to say it with your chest like you've been out here doing this ish by yourself. Because if it wasn't for us and our backing, y'all would have been a done data. So you need to put some respect on it. So I was like, Lord Jesus Christ. Robert says Trump giving out 5,000 to the people. Are you talking about, is that centered around those I don't want to say stimulus checks, those tax refunds? Robert, are you referring to those tax refunds when you say, is that what you're talking about? What are you talking about? Because did y'all see him talking about giving out the gold cards? I didn't put that in the title. The gold cards that are like the green cards. What's y'all thoughts about the gold cards? Child, it's so much, y'all. Derek Jones said, I started watching the news months ago, too frustrated. Derek, I'm with you. Listen, so let me just tell you why I cover it the way I do. Is because there's so much going on. And as a content creator, I said, okay, let me go ahead and take it out here to the people because it's something that's impacting everyone. So that's why I stay on it the way I do, because it's like it's content for me to be able to come out here to talk to you all about it because it's impacting me. I'm living just like you all. But as a content creator, I'm like, well, let me go live and do a temperature check to see how the people feel about this. That's why any of you all who new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel and follow me because normally I go live in the mornings. I have a series called Car Chronicles, and I'll go live and talk about current events in the car as I'm, commuting to my office. So I'll do that a couple of times, maybe 2, 3 days a week. So make sure you follow me for that. Tonight I'm doing this evening live, child. This is not the norm. I normally don't go live in the evenings, but this is listen, child, it's a Friday night special. It's so much popping off to where I'm like, listen, I got time today because let's go live. Let's go live. $5 million for the Gold Visa. Okay. Let me know if y'all understand or y'all familiar with the Gold Visa because so it's the gold, it's gold card, gold card, gold card. So it's like a Visa. So it's called a gold card. So remember, you got the green card. So the green card is what right now, what we've already had in place where, immigrants would come over through and you're going through the proper channels and you're getting granted the green card if you're approved. So now he's like, yo, I want to do something different. I want to roll out the gold card. So the gold card would be something offered to rich people at $5 million a pop. So what he's saying, the purpose of the gold card is to entice rich business people to want to bring their businesses over here to the USA. And then when they come, they can bring their people, as in like their workers and things like that, and they can come over here because he looks at them as, bringing over, he's wanting them to bring over the smartest of the smartest people, whoever that may be. But clearly his ass don't think we over here cutting it like that. I don't know if he said America's a bunch of damn misfits shit. We need something. We need to change the energy up around here. We need to change the energy up around here. So he said for $5 million, you can come over here, get a gold card. It'll put you on kind of like this fast track, this process with you getting citizenship and things like that. But it's almost like it's kind of putting you kind of at the front of the line for $5 million. For $5 million. Let me know what's your thoughts on that. The only thing, my concern when I think about that is, how does it benefit the American people with this system in place? So I think the main reason for what he's saying, why he's doing this, is because every $5 million that he's receiving, I think he's saying it would go towards our what do I say? Our debt, the debt. So it'll go towards that. So his thing is like, okay, that can heavily start knocking down and putting a dent in the debt that we have if we're, with each of these businesses coming from another country paying $5 million. So we'll just keep applying that to the debt. So I was like, okay, I get that. I get that. But outside of that, how does that impact me, you, whoever, the regular people with these rich companies coming over here to get richer? And they're bringing over their workers, because in my mind, the way I look at it is that if you have, let's just say, someone from Dubai bringing their business over here to America, and they're saying, hey, here, President Trump, here's my $5 million. I want to bring my business over here, and I have my team of people with me, and we want to operate our business out of your country. How does that benefit me if this company is coming over to America with their workers who they can pay likely less money than they would pay me, you, or whatever as an American citizen? How does that benefit me? I see how I can benefit their business, because their customers is going to be the Americans, but that's not who their staff is consisting of. So let me know if you're looking at it differently, because why would this company that's coming from another country, what would be their motivator to staff up their company with Americans? Because it's a known thing that Americans, we require higher wages than people who are immigrants or coming from other countries. Y'all, that's just it. It is what it is. I once saw like where it was a guy, Indian guy in college, and he talked about that. I think he had went to school for engineering or something like that, and how it was a struggle for him to still even line up work because other Indians from other countries are being offered the jobs because they're willing to accept lower wages. They're coming, say, directly from Dubai or whatever, and he's Americanized. He's been here, so he like, listen, run me my $130,000 or whatever. Where is somebody from Dubai was like, okay, I'll do it for 35,000. So how do you compete with that? How do someone who feels like knows their worth and they're saying, "Hey, my worth is 130,000 for a salary, annual salary," but then you have someone who's saying, "Hey, I can do that job for 35,000." Who is the company, the business owner going to go with? They're going to go with the person, if they see that the skill set, if they believe that it's comparable to them, and sometimes they probably will sacrifice on just the quality in order to save money and just pay the person who's willing to work it for a lesser wage. But I'm not quite sold on the fact that somebody who's willing to work it on a lesser wage is even less qualified than the person who's demanding the higher salary. I think it comes down to each one of us we have each determined how much we were worth. So when I say I'm worth, Foxhole says they're worth, Cooper says they're worth. Like, whatever you say you're worth, that's what you say you're worth. It comes down to who's willing to pay you that. Who's willing to pay you that? So a lot of these companies, they're going to go with the person who's saying, "Hey, I'll take it for this." They'll take the job for less. And that's what was happening with like a lot of like the immigrants that were over here from other countries, in particular Mexico or Hispanic immigrants from other countries, because they were willing to do jobs at lower wages than people here in America. First of all, some of the jobs people here in America probably weren't even really kind of interested in doing. And even if they were to do it, they'd be like, "Well, what you not gonna do is try to play me crazy and pay me $7 to be damn picking all these damn grapes and picking these strawberries. That's what we not gonna do." "Well, sir, how much you want to make to be picking strawberries?" "I need 25 an hour because it's gonna goddamn be hot out there. I need 25. I need $25 an hour to be damn picking grapes." Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So they gonna go on to the next that person who said they'll do it for $7, right? Because to make money, the goal. So as a business person, you want to keep your costs low, because the lower you keep your operational costs, the more money that you keep. So that's the goal. So when you're paying workers, that falls into the category of the operational costs. You want to keep that low. So therefore, as you're making money, you're keeping more. So if you're operating a business and your operational cost exceeds the amount of money that you're bringing in, that's a fail. Like, your business is failing and you need to damn change it up or get out of that business. So that's why a lot of these companies will go with the person who's willing to accept the lower wages. So when I think about the rich coming over here paying that little five million and then bringing our workers, I don't think about them employing us, American people. I think about them employing their own and relying on the American people to be the consumer. So again, it's making the rich get richer. What's up, Lucas? Welcome, welcome. Foxo says, just think about it. They pay the migrants, feel that they are getting paid. So Lucas says, do you like Trump? I like Trump. I don't dislike him. I don't like all the things that he's doing. It's like with anybody. I feel like when it comes to just people, you can like a person, but not like the type of time that they're always on. So just think about just even family members that do stuff that maybe make you feel mad at something, or they do stuff that don't rock with her. Do you like Kamala? I don't like her. I don't like Kamala. I don't. I don't like Kamala. I like Trump. I don't like Kamala. I did vote. I'm an independent and Trump got my vote. So I think Trump is fair. I always, up until current times, it was always a hard, like, yes, he's fair. But now with a lot of things that's been going on, I'm just questioning things as far as my own thoughts and beliefs, that I've had about him. Just let's, for example, as we talk about fairness. So we see what's going on with the immigrants and how what's going on with them, and I'm here for that. With whatever dealing with the immigrants, I'm here for it. The part that has me right now is, as I'm bringing up this new program, the gold, the green, let me see, the gold card, which is the version of the rich being able to have access to our country for $5 million. To me, right now, what it's giving is that Trump is wanting to cherry pick what type of people we're having entering into our country. Um, so that's where I'm stuck on, because it's just like, okay, is it not really about immigrants being here? Is it about really the type of immigrants? Like, because he always talks about he wants smart people, the smartest. So it's giving, like, to me, like, okay, do he want the country to only consist of people who he deemed to be smart, who he deemed to be smart? So that's why I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound fair to me, where, okay, somebody who's rich and they can pay 5 million there, because from my understanding right now, the green card stuff, that stuff is kind of on hold right now. He's saying the gold card is going to be launched in 2 weeks. So will the gold card process stuff still be on hold? And then he's going to have, I mean, the green card, will the green card still be on hold, but then the gold card is now in full effect? Like, is that what's about to happen? It's like so that's why I'm kind of like now thinking about things just very differently. Like, okay, what's going on here? Are we really being fair? Because I think that if you're going to have this gold, the gold card situation be in effect, then the green card, whatever that process is, that needs to be in effect too, not on hold while you entertain the $5 million a pop offers for people to come. So I'm a very balanced person. So anybody who's kind of familiar with my content, new to my channel, hi, I'm Chic. So I'm a very balanced person. So when I do commentary and I talk about things, try to see them from different angles and touch on all the different sides. And so that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. It's just kind of seeming a little off balance when I'm hearing him talk about the new gold card program, and just the excitement centered around that, because in his mind, he's centering rich associated with the smartest of the smart people. And it's just like, okay, but it's just, to me, it's like it's given as though their value is greater than a person who is, say, trying to go through the process from another country, who's not rich, trying to come over here. It's like the, them and what they're trying to do and trying to come over here, that process, like, that's it's like it's not important. Like, the value isn't there. Like, you're not going to do nothing for us, so we're going to kind of put you on hold and focus on these people right here, who I feel like is going to be a benefit because they got money and they're smart. Like, he's associating brains with money. Like, y'all have, you got some people, just because somebody got a lot of money, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're smarter than somebody whose money isn't as long. Like, they're not synonymous. And to me, I feel like he equates rich with being, like, associated with being smart. And it's just like, okay, but that's not always the case. Foxo said, I think Trump is fair. Foxo says the Mexicans and Hispanics didn't care about the black people. Sorry. Yeah, like, I feel like right now, like, I've been seeing, like, online where the Hispanics and some of them have felt a way about black people not walking the picket line with them. Uh, I'm not mad at how black people collectively are responding, because I will say most of the time when we've had just our situations over the years, when it's come to whatever, dealing with discrimination, wrongful treatment, wrongful deaths with our community, I cannot say that I've seen a heavy number, like, where they'll show things in the media, where I've seen an influx of people that weren't black out there walking side by side with black people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I do not recall seeing that in the media. Like typically with Black Matters is Black people showing up for it. With other matters, you'll see Black people also showing up for them. But it seems like when it comes to like Black Matters, it's usually heavily Black people who are there, doing whatever they're trying to do to bring awareness to their cause. I don't really see other groups of people like walking the picket line with us. I don't see it. They might be in the background when you done walking the picket line, say, "Ooh, how'd it go? I'm supporting you." But I don't ever see them like walking side by side singing Kumbaya. I don't see it. So in this time, with things that are going on, to me, I don't think it's fair for them to expect for Black people to be on the lines and protesting and doing all that with them. Like, Black people can be in the background, like, "Ooh, I hope it work out for you," because I feel like that's the energy that some of them may have given us if they gave us that type of energy. But I don't feel like Black people are acting any differently than how we've seen them act with us. That's my opinion on that. Lucas says, he fired 1,200 from the National Weather Service, which is going to cause stress in the weather community. Lives may be lost because of this. What's more valuable, a life or 75,000? Yeah, I didn't know he had impacted the National Weather Service. Today, I saw a judge put on hold some of the layoffs that he did today. I didn't hear them saying those layoffs were the ones, part of the whole weather service. But there was some layoffs today that a judge put on hold, saying that they didn't have the right to do it. So the part that I wasn't clear on as to why, when it came to these particular federal workers and their jobs been put on the line, why was it that the judge felt like, okay, yeah, in this situation, no, we're not doing it, versus I guess in any other week when there's been job losses where we didn't see really a judge stepping in saying, "Hey, you can't do that, let's put it on hold." That's the thing with me on that. But I don't know how long it's going to last for those people's jobs to be temporarily, put on hold, as far as with the determination of them losing it because of the judge. Because if the administration is providing their reason as to, "Hey, we want to cut these jobs for this reason," just like they did the other ones, I'm thinking it's going to still end up going through. It's just a momentary hold, a momentary block. But maybe by next week we'll learn that that judge, is going to have to know when to hold them and fold them. And those people are also going to be, heading down to the unemployment office. It's sad, but regardless, whether it's Hispanic people, Black people, white people, when it comes to people losing their jobs, I'm not here for none of that. So I know the feeling of just being out of work, being laid off. It's happened a couple of times to me years ago. So I know the feeling. It's something you never forget, and that you empathize with people. That's just when you've experienced something, you know what it feels like. Let me see. Lucas says, "Are you open-minded to vote for Kamala?" Oh, no. The reason why I'm not open-minded for Kamala, I find her to be a chameleon. I feel like she's an opportunist, to where she knows how to become or morph into someone. So, for example, if she's before people who are Asian, Indian, whatever, she knows how to talk the talk and to just speak on things and identify with them and say, "Hey, this is the community I'm from." But then when it comes to Black people, when it's the season of to vote, then I feel like, okay, at that moment, that's when it's like, okay, let me go to Howard University. Let me, remind them that I am a AKA. It's like at that moment, then that's when she's identifying as being Black. But outside of her running for office, you're not hearing or seeing her associate herself with Blackness. So I don't like that. It's selective. I don't like that. And I think what I was hearing about with a lot of people with her, with why she didn't do well, is a lot of people felt like they didn't really fully understand who she was or what she represented because of that confusion. Because I told you how I felt, and I've learned that a lot of other people felt the same way. They couldn't understand or identify like where she was coming from. Like they didn't know what she represented, because it's like when they bring up Biden and his policy, she was like, felt like they were all good. And it's just like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And it's just like, she never had a hard stance on anything. It's just like she can just be swayed. And it's just like, okay, who are you? With Trump, I feel like when he was running, it was very clear on what he wanted to do. Like he had a plan. You kind of knew, where his mind was at, which is why right now, with all the things that he's doing, Democrat, Republican, conservative, everyone is saying he's doing what he said he was going to do. And I think that's the part that got people shook. I was telling somebody, because a lot of times we're not used to a politician doing what they say they're going to do. How many times you voted for a politician? They said they was going to do this, that, and the third. And when they got in there, they did not do that. So during voting time, it's like you're voting and you're voting on a hope and a wing and a prayer that they're going to do what they're running on, what they said they're going to do. Because I know a lot of black people felt that way about Obama, to where they felt like he didn't do a damn thing for black people when he got in the House. And I happen to believe that. I feel like he took care of people part of the community, the LGBTQ community. White people, other races of people continue to get richer and richer when it comes to like the black community. For anything for us, with putting any laws or things in place for us that can protect us when wrongful doing takes place with us, like what we saw with the Asians. Like we did not have that take place with us. There was nothing that took place with protection of black people. And we all know there is a history of just things being done onto black people that just was wrong. And there was nothing put in place. So you call that identity politics. So a lot of times, a lot of people, when it came to Obama, they did what? Identity politics. I can honestly say that exactly what I did. I was way younger than what I am now, early on in voting. And I seen a man who it was pushed. He's a black man, he's this and that. It was identity politics for me. I voted for him both terms. But guess what? By the time Kamala came and they started trying to push, hey, black, black, black people collectively were no longer kind of in a place to want to vote based on identity politics and vote for someone because it said they're black. That's the thing. And that's what happened with her. I think they were looking for her to get that Obama treatment, but she didn't. And the reason why she didn't is because people were more aware by that time. People were now saying, hell, the last time I voted for somebody who I was told was like me, I didn't get a damn thing from it. So what they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So this time around, when it came to Kamala, people were like, oh shit, you ain't for to fool me. And that's why, and I think that was heavily too why a lot of black men weren't really interested in Kamala either, is because they kind of were thinking like that. And they were like, I'm not going to do it. A lot of the white men, a lot of the black women were riders for her just because of her being a woman, a black woman, just that sisterhood. Whereas a lot of the black men, they were in this place of, no, I'm not doing this just because what she looks like, just because of her skin tone. I'm not doing that ish no more, because we did that before. We did that with Obama and we didn't get nothing. We not doing that no more. So I happen to be a black woman, probably one of fewer black women that had that same mindset. I just wasn't finna vote for her because you're telling her she black. She only be claiming she black. Y'all, I seen that woman do a show where she was with this Indian woman and they were cooking it. I don't know. It's an actress. I can't think of what her name was, but they were talking and in that show, Kamala told the lady, hey, they both were from India. And Kamala started telling the lady, yes, the actress lady, y'all let me know in the comments, you know what I'm talking about. She's a darker complexion Indian lady. Her skin, she's probably darker than me. And Kamala was like, yeah, now listen, peep game. Kamala didn't say, I'm also Indian. I'm Indian and black. She says, I'm Indian too. You look like you can be part of my family. That is what that woman said. That is what that woman said. She didn't insert no blackness in when she was having this conversation with this actress when they were both bonding over the Indian culture. But at that time, y'all, when I seen that clip, she wasn't running for president. By the time she started running for office, running for president, then that's when you started hearing this thing with her being black. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know what the fuck I saw. I saw her do a show where she was with another fellow Indian woman and they were bonding as they were cooking a meal in kitchen about the Indian culture. That woman at no time said, well, yes, I'm Indian and I'm black. She straight just omitted black. Black was not inserted anywhere in the conversation. I know what I heard. I know what I saw. I just can't remember the damn actress name right now. I can't remember her name right now. But I don't think I saw. And that woman did not say she was black. She said, I'm Indian and you look like you can be a part of my family. My cousins look like you. That is what she told that woman. So no, Kamala would never get my vote. I don't rock with her. I'm sorry. I just don't. Period, point blank. But welcome, y'all. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button, chime in on the conversation. We just talking about some things. It's a lot going on, and I decided to go live to talk about some things that's going on. Child, these damn $20 eggs. Trump giving Zelensky. So back to Trump and Zelensky in that White House. Were y'all here for the energy that Trump and Vance was giving that man when he told that man that they was like, you need to say damn thank you. You need to say thank you. While you in here trying to damn act like you damn running issue, what you need to be doing is saying thank you for what we've done for you. That man acted like it was just like against his religion to show gratitude and appreciation for what America has done for them as it pertains to this fight, this war, whatever the hell they got going on. Because Trump let it be known that if it wasn't for us and giving support, y'all would have been done data 2 weeks in the game. Y'all would have been done data. So what you need to do, what you need to do is put some respect on the American name and acknowledge that it's us. What pissed Trump off is when that man tried to insinuate that we were going to be seeing sometimes that was going to be challenging for us. Trump told that man, what you not finna do is tell us what we finna be feeling. If y'all did not see it, y'all need to go find it. I ended up watching like a little 7-minute clip of interaction where everybody was just saying it with their chest. Everybody was just slinging their nuts. But he tried to tell Trump like, oh, well, whatever, Trump. And, when y'all waters get rough, you going to feel it. And Trump like, you what? What the hell you mean? You ain't finna, you can't tell us you don't, F you. F you. Trump was giving that man F you energy all day. F you, F the boat you rolled up in on, like all of that. Y'all check that out if you did not see it. If you did not see it. But I mean, it's just the audacity, the disrespect, and the fact that this man came over here into the White House and just tried to just do what the hell he did. Clearly, he didn't know who he was playing. I don't know. Maybe he thought he got Trump confused with Biden. I don't know. Maybe he thought the meeting was going to go the way his conversations have historically gone with people from the Democratic Party. I don't got them know, but what they say, you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. Zelensky ass learned to damn day. He learned today. He learned today that it's a different time. And Trump said, I'm a different kind of energy. You ain't dealing with them other ones who damn don't know nothing. You're dealing with me. And what you going to do is put some respect on my name, on this country, this White House. Him and Vance both had that energy for Zelensky. So check it out, y'all. It was a mess, but at the same time, our government that, asserted themselves, in that moment as far as with Trump and Vance when it came to this man who felt like he was making waves by himself. Like, how you ever see some people who making waves and they act like they just really did it by themselves and they act like they didn't have help and that the person who they talking to didn't play a part. And it's like the person they talking to, like, motherfucker, that if it wasn't for me invested in your business, you wouldn't even have a business, right? But if folks want to start flexing and forget where they came from and act like they did it on their own, that was the energy that I was getting from Zelensky, where he was trying to act like how they were moving, they was doing it they did on their own, and it wasn't as a result of the backing from our government. And Trump like, you got life twisted. You got life twisted. It's because of us that you even still in the game. So it will behoove you to go ahead and call truce, because we backing out what was going on with that previous administration, all this support, getting all this money, whatever. Them days are done. So you might want to call up your troops, do a Zoom call a meeting of the minds and say, you know what, we gonna go ahead and roll up out of here. we gonna roll up out of here now. But will that food do it? Who don't know? But what they say, some folks think fat meat ain't greasy. So some people you got to show them. You try to tell them, but some people you got to show them. So hopefully once they see that resources and things like that is no longer coming their way to support a war, then unfortunately there'll be casualties, but hopefully it won't take long for that man to be like, all right, all right, all right, all right, okay, fine. All right, God damn it, shit. This what Trump was talking about, but sometimes it take that to where people kind of really got to experience some hard, a hard impact for them to acknowledge that it's time to switch gears, bow out, accept this L. Like, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. That's what Trump wants to say. Can y'all imagine Trump saying on TV, listen, Zelensky, I'm going to need for you to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And right now it's time to fold them. I mean, because that meeting shit, everything else about it seemed hood. So shit, he might as well should have said that. Data says, no, he should have known when Trump said you dressed up in the video. Oh my God, like y'all got to go check that out because I'm telling y'all based on my interpretation. I'm gonna need each and every one of y'all 30 people that's in here, for one, hit the like button, and two, to go check out and look at Trump talking to Zelensky in the White House and tell him he need to put some respect on our name, on our nation's name. And I loved it because, our country show up and do a lot of things for other countries. Shit, we out here buying condoms and stuff for other countries. we paying for transgender programs and stuff for other countries. Damn, can you at least say thank you? Hell, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been able to transition to a girl. Hell, say thank you. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have them titties now. Say thank you. Can you at least show some type of gratitude? Hell, it's the little things. And that's what Trump was like, hell, shit, we got all this money going out the door, shit, but can you at least say thank you? Hell, our people losing jobs, homeless, hungry, and get none of that money, but you getting all the money and you can't at least say thank you. So I'm gonna need for you to show some type of appreciation, sir. Then he go, well, thank you. I mean, I said, y'all know how people get shady when you put them in the corner and you force them to try to acknowledge something and they act like they do, but they just been shady about it. That man was like, he wanted to say F you, Trump, but he couldn't because, Trump was probably crazier than him. Folks that's crazy, when they're dealing with somebody who nuttier than they are. And I think that man knew in that moment that Trump was nuttier than him. Vance looked like he wanted to take his damn coat off and just start just steal on him. Because, Vance came out the military. Vance just was given like, I'm just ready to take this damn blazer off and just go in, just straight clock him. But, he held it together. He held it together. Everybody held it together. I think Trump walked his ass on out probably at the end, told him don't bring his dusty ass back. I don't know. I just say that they said the meeting came to an end. So I'm going to guess that he told them, but listen, don't bring your dusty ass back up in here. And when your ass start taking L, don't be hollering looking for us to come and save your ass. See, call old ass Biden, tell him to come save, because we ain't got nothing for you here. Call Biden and Obama and them and Hillary. And you call them, but don't call our damn number. Hell, forget that we even exist. So, but we'll see what happened with that. So hopefully soon the war, everything that Trump said and what was said in that meeting will finally set in with Zelensky. And we'll see some new waves after the tough conversations. But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see. How y'all doing in here? Welcome. Hit the like button for me. How do y'all feel about everything that's going on? Because it's a lot going on. Hey, did y'all see that there was, what state was it? Was it New York? There was a police station that the inmates held up, that they took over. I'm sorry, they took it over. Did y'all see that? I saw that first thing this morning. There was not a police station, I'm sorry, a local jailhouse. A jailhouse. Because at first I thought it was a prison, because y'all remember I had reported about some correctional workers on strike in New York right now from their jobs because they are saying they're just overworked. It's just too much. So they had been on strike. This week was like going to like week 2. So when I saw the news about with the sheriff and police, talking, my mind went to the prisons, thinking that, okay, well, hell, since ain't nobody coming to work, the inmates then damn took over. But no, they was like, this was an actual county jail where the inmates just kind of, they at this time when they were doing a press conference, they had 5 of them detained, as being, responsible for it. But my thing is, why is somebody showing out like that in county? To me, county gives you ain't got you only because usually only in county for what until you go to trial or your sentence isn't that long. So who the hell choosing to show out in county? Because to me, county means that you got a chance. You either you are going to be going home in with like 2 years, or you going to court and stuff, and you got a chance to go home. Like who playing games like this in county? Now prison, I can see somebody playing like that because you got sins. A lot of people know the hell they ain't never going home. But in county, like you got a chance to be going home. So they said that apparently, like, I don't know what happened, but the inmates, they broke windows and stuff. And how they got in to kind of take back over, they had to put like I guess the tear gas, the gas in there. And so they said, hey, everybody, if you weren't a part of whatever, the madness, the nonsense going on, just lay on the ground. Because that's right. Like those innocent people who just so happen to be in jail, I don't think they should be punished for what damn 5 fools did with calling themselves trying to damn take over. So they was like, get on the ground. We coming in. So they threw, did the gas and everything. They went in and they were like, it was 2 of the, I guess out of the 5, 2 of them had to be taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. One of them was already out of the hospital and one was still in the hospital. So y'all know resources are already limited. Most of these jails, prisons, they're already like at capacity. So they were like, they had to find, because I think it was like 8 windows busted. So people who would probably normally stay in these particular dorms or whatever cells, they had to have people sent to other jails because they couldn't stay. They got to get those windows and things fixed or whatever. So, you guys to order. They said they got some temporary stuff covering them for now until they get the permanent stuff, which could take some time. So in the meantime, they had to shift some of the inmates away to other jails. And remember, I said a lot of these jails, they're already at capacity. So they ain't got time to be playing games with these fools because it's not enough space for all that. Remember, I said the Florida people, the Florida sheriffs and them done already said with all the immigrants, they got people sleeping on floors. They was like, we don't have enough people. We don't have enough beds for all of this foolishness. That's why they can't be waiting for these people to come through and let them go through the court system, then get found guilty. They said, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. If you hear you illegal and you doing the absolute most, you getting the hell on. Hell, if you here and we got you here, and listen, as we're seeing, even people who haven't done anything wrong other than being over here illegally, they're still getting sent away. So they gonna send the ones who out here doing the absolute most away in a quick, fast, and in a hurry. Ain't nobody got time for that. We got damn $20 eggs. We got $20 eggs. We ain't got time to be playing with we ain't, Zelensky's, we not here for your bullshit. We got $20 goddamn eggs. You better damn read the room. You better goddamn read the room. We ain't got time for this shit. That's the energy I got from that meeting today. when Bush, I didn't call him Bush, when Trump was talking to Zelensky, it was on that. We ain't got time for your bullshit. Today, sir, we got real shit going on. I got people on my head because I'm getting rid of their jobs. I got the immigrants, the cartel looking for me because I'm trying to stop their drug flow and send they damn people back. Motherfucker, I don't have time for your bullshit, sir. I do not have time for your shit. That's the energy I got from the meeting today. So y'all watch the meeting. Let me know what energy y'all get because I don't got them know what other way to translate that shit. Because that was definitely what I took out of that. If anybody would have asked me to translate shit, that's my goddamn translation. Motherfucker, I ain't got time for your shit. I don't. Scrub Steve says Zelensky not using his head. He's not. I think it's one of those to where sometimes people would just be so bullheaded and just want to be just right and just to come off as just the one with the answers, the one, who's just, well, I'm powerful, I'm the president. It's like, okay, I get that, but you're not looking out for your people. I think I heard that his country right now, I think they're trying to look to overturn him. I don't know, once they seen that meeting, they was like, oh, hell no, you goddamn playing games. I don't know. But for what I'm hearing, word on the curb is that the people out in his country, they're not here for him as a leader, and they're kind of wanting to move him out the way. He gonna mess around and get folks hurt. I mean, clearly, I'm sure many people have already lost their lives messing around with him. But yeah, it would behoove that government to go ahead and look for a new leader like yesterday. Yeah, it would definitely be my recommendation for them to do that. Yeah, Scrubs, he said, yeah, his people that were with him were seen upset with him today. Yeah, because he made them like fools, like he wasn't using common sense. He was given the energy of just to prove a point, just to say that he was right. He was willing to just risk people's lives. And it's just like, wait a minute. This country right here, who's been helping us and giving us resources and things like this, is saying, okay, for one, can you show gratitude and appreciate? And two, we're asking you to bow out because this is too much. And you got this energy of, well, nah, we ain't doing nothing. We good. Like, what do you mean? You wouldn't even be this far if it wasn't for us. So clearly it seemed like probably the people who accompanied him was better, was smarter than him. Was smarter than him. So that it's time that they evaluate their government system and look for a new leader. And it's just unfortunate that our government have been feeding into these shenanigans over there, with sending them the money and the resources for them for this long. Because that has him, that's probably the longer the war been going on, the bigger his ego been getting, because in his mind, he think he doing something right. Because it's like, well, I still got the backing of the American people. They still supporting me. So we can't be doing too bad, if they're supporting me. But Trump like, no, we had a village idiot that was our leader 5 minutes ago. There's a new sheriff in town. He was like, it's a reason why things don't happen when I'm involved in conversations, because people respect me. People know I stand on, basically, he said, people know I damn stand on business. People know I stand 10 toes down. People know this. They know this. So when I get into conversations with them, that's why people stick to their word, and they don't fall back on it, because it's all out of respect. He was like, people didn't respect the previous administrations. They didn't. And he was like, that's not the case with me. Motherfucker, you better read the room. He basically told Zelensky, read the motherfucking room. Read the room. Read the room. I don't have them kind of problems that the previous administration had when it comes to just with the other countries and getting them to cooperate. I don't have those problems, sir. And you know this. So stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I'm sick of you. You pissing me off. You pissing me off. I think that man pissed him off. He pissed Trump off. He definitely pissed the vice president off. Like and it seemed like, as they say, he pissed his own people off, just being an idiot. But, some people don't be knowing they ass from their face. It be like that. What do you do? What can you do? You can lead them to the water, but what? You can't make them drink. And Trump is trying to lead them to the water. So I say that too, to say, with Trump, there are some things I'm here for him with him, and then some things I'm not. So it is what it is. But that's no different than just somebody else that I may know, where I'm here for these actions and then I'm not here for those. Like, I feel like, you can have some people to where you're like, you know what? I ride with you, but this right here, I got a problem with. I don't like this. And there's nothing wrong with that, because everybody's not going to always make you feel warm and fuzzy all the time. You're not going to always be here for every decision that somebody who you respect or even like make. It's just the way it is. Even with your children, your spouse, your mama, your siblings, that's just a thing. You're not going to always have the same feelings or sentiments of a person like during all moments or when they, with you're just not, you're just not. And that's how I feel with Trump, to where it's just like, I was with him. I rocked with him with, the energy he gave today with Zelensky, but I don't rock with him right now with just the job loss of all these American people. I'm not here for that. The veterans, we already see most of the homeless people are former veterans, which is crazy. I take that back. Not former veterans, are veterans. What do you say? Veterans? Yeah. Veterans is what you say. They once, fought for a country, and I just think you should put some respect on that. And it's already a problem that a lot of them are on the streets. And for those of you who are new to my channel, my background is clinical mental health counseling. So I used to would work in a hospital, and I would talk with veterans, and I would talk with them about their mental health and the impacts that the being in the military, being on active duty, the impact that it had on them, and that it had on them when it came to their, mentally and emotionally. And many of them would talk about how they lost their families because of that. Because from being in the military, y'all, I promise y'all, I don't know no one who went to the military and who's not in the military anymore who ain't collecting some type of check. Y'all let me know if y'all know anybody who done time in the military. I say done time in the military, who done been in the military and they not collecting some type of check because of something that happened with them, whether it was from a physical disability or a mental disability because they suffer from PTSD. They got a lot of times, a lot of them, they suffer from PTSD. They're collecting a check. And what's up, PM? So I was talking to one man, and he just had this really thick file, about, just all his medical claims, everything centered around, getting benefits and things like that. Um, as a result of him being, a veteran and things like that. And this man, he was like, because of his mentals and him just being off balance right now, he was like, I lost my family, my wife, my kids. He was like, you just don't understand. I would literally give anything and give all the money up if I can go back and just have my family back and just have my mentals be where it need to be. My emotions be where it need to be. This man said that, and he meant that. And there's no takebacks from that. Once you see something, y'all, you can't unsee it. Think about all the things that these people who were in the military, think about the things they saw. Hell, most people I know who did it, who was in the military before, they can't even sleep right at night. Like, child, they be it's a reason for them to be able to be collecting a check. Like they seeing people, they waking up, they talking in they sleep. They sleep very lightly. So child, don't be walking up on nobody who was in the military before. You better announce yourself. You can't do that because they're used to being in these environments where literally it's like you got to sleep with one eye open, one eye shut. We use it as a saying, but this is like real life for these people. So now, as far as when they're in civilian life, you don't just turn that off. You don't turn that off. So you're still living like that, where you kind of you're looking over your shoulder and you trying to make sure that nobody ain't trying to creep up on you. And then so with men, with women, it becomes a challenge, with the women, because it's like they got to get used to trying to sleep with somebody who basically waking up, probably hollering, hearing voices in their heads, having nightmares, all of that. Like, really think about that. Some of you all probably have experienced some of this yourself in the military, or like I said, loved ones, family members, friends who were in the military, who this is what their life looked like. That's why I say I don't know anyone who I've talked to and they's like, oh, I did 4 years in the military, and they don't have some type of impact, like lasting impact, dealing with their psyche. They're getting a check. So now, as I'm hearing with a lot of these people, they're losing their jobs. So some of the, the people the veterans, they were able to get jobs. And, with the VA, because it's like, hey, I still want to be able to help my country. I want to work at the VA hospital. And now these people ain't got no job. So that's an example of something that I don't rock with. I feel like there's It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I understand if he wanted to make some type of change with how the federal government looked, but I just feel like it could have been executed differently than how it was. So I'm not here for how he did it. Uh, the logic with him wanting to make some changes and given with all the money that's frivolously, with the audits that we're seeing that's been spent and going out to countries buying condoms, forgotten people in other countries paying for trans procedures, like all of that. Like I do believe there needs to be checks and balances in place for sure. But as it comes to our people, the American people, I don't think that people should be getting treated disrespectfully, because I think it's disrespectful to fire somebody through an email and then provide a reasoning that's just what's the word? Just a reason that's like just a reason, just for the sake of goddamn being able to have a generic reason for why you're fired, because that's what it's given they're saying, hey, poor performance or your performance don't line up. To me, it's more so given like, okay, we want to just create a template for firing people. So instead of having to tailor each person we fire, let's create a template and we can just send out this mass email and everybody's email look the same with the same reasoning for why the hell you fired. Where they do that at. That is not the norm. If you firing people throughout a day at one company, it's not going to be everybody's fired for like that same reason. Like it's going to be different reasons of you're identifying, okay, why it's time for you to raise up out of here. But it just gave convenience for saying, hey, yeah, we weren't happy with your performance. Some of these people like, yo, I just only been here for 90 days. I ain't never even had no job performance review. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I've never even had a performance review. So if you're saying it's for my performance, based off of what? Based off of what? Because I ain't sat down with nan person. Yes, I said nan person that said that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And if that's the case, and if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, how do I know if someone's not bringing it to my attention? I don't know. Like you just, if somebody's not telling you that your work is crap, how do you know your work is crap? Some people know that they're intentionally putting out crappy work, but you can't make me believe that the bulk of these workers, that was the situation. No, I don't believe that at all. It's too many of them who had the same reason of poor job performance. Like I have yet to listen to anybody be interviewed and their reasoning for why they were let go was anything other than that. Like, what are some of the other reasons? Because I keep hearing it centered around the job performance. So we just had a damn government with a bunch of misfits like that. I don't believe it. I believe in every company you're going to have your share, but I'm not going to believe that the majority of the company is that. No. Or even the majority of the department. No. If you got a department of 20 people, I'll give you as many as 5 that ain't hitting on nothing when it comes to their job. No, I give you a good 5, but you're not going to make me believe that all 20 of them not doing their job. No, I don't believe that. You're always going to have some bad eggs, some bad seeds. You got to weed them out. But what they say, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like you gotta deal with the ones who are the problem. You can't you can't impact everybody because you got a problem with these 2, 3 people. That's not how life works. Like you deal with the problem. If this person not doing what they supposed to do, deal with them. How many of you work for a job? Like you see that. You don't want your whole department to have to suffer because one Joe Blow ain't doing what they supposed to do. Some of us have experiences where you feel like you got impacted, where your shift got changed or your job responsibilities got changed. New rules and things change because of the actions of one person or a few, and you like, damn, why my shit gotta be impacted because of what he or she did? Who likes that? Nobody likes that. Everybody wants you to just deal with the person. Like, don't deal with us all the same way because one person made it bad. Like, deal with that person. If you got to let them go, but don't choose to keep them around. And then while you're keeping them around, everybody else got to just suffer for this new change as a result of that one bullshit ass person. I don't like that. I don't like that. So that's why, to me, with them letting people go with this email and saying that bad job performance, no, that's not, everybody don't fall in that category, sir. Everybody didn't fall into that category. And I feel like for them to believe that we're supposed to believe that, that's playing on the American people intelligence. You're playing on my intelligence if you're gonna, out of hundreds plus thousands of people, that the vast majority of them, they have poor job performance. No, sir, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna believe that. Nope, I will not. I'm too smart for that. Scrub TV said Trump should have fired everyone like he did in The Apprentice. Well, hell, after the way he going, it sounds like that's what he doing. I heard that what I learned, I think was like today or yesterday, that they're supposed to, what he's doing with all these firings and these communications about you're without a job, you're without a job. All of this is supposed to take place through, I think, September. So what I'm hearing is that from now through September is where we'll see, we'll continuously hear about him letting people go and things like that. So I don't know if by then is that when he wants to be at his magic number. Because from what I'm hearing, he's wanting to have a government, like a government administration, like when it comes to federal work. He's wanting like a small group, and he doesn't want like overlap with like multiple people doing certain job functions. So to me, I'm thinking like, say if you have an HR department, and right now your HR consists of 7 people. In his mind, he's like, oh, we only need one. Okay, so then you got IT. You got the IT department. IT consists of 10 people. Oh, yeah, no, you need one or you need 2. You see what I'm saying? So he's going around in the different departments and just cutting heads. He's cutting heads because he feels like that the head count within those departments, those divisions, is too top heavy, and he don't feel like you need that many people to represent in one, that you don't need that many people in each of those departments. He feels like, hey, 1 or 2 is good enough. We don't need to overlap jobs. Now, that's what I'm coming to understand what his mindset is. And he's wanting to, I think, do a cut that would impact the federal government by about 10%, I think, by about 10%. So, yeah, so from my understanding, by September, the month of September is when he's wanting to be done with doing all that. So I guess as we go into 2026, that part would be done. And I don't know what he'll be moving on to next. Maybe still we're trying to make Canada the 51st state. How do you feel about that? I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, Canada's on my bucket list of places to visit. So only thing right now when I think about that, I'm like, well, I guess since it's one of the 50 states, I guess everyone won't have to have a passport to travel there. I mean, because right now, you need your passport. But I'm like, well, hell, I was telling my husband, he was like, well, since it'll be one of the 50 states, we won't, have to get everyone the passports. Because me and my husband have our passports now. Our 3 children don't have passports right now. So he's like, we wouldn't have to have a passport to go over there. I said, but hell, would it be like Hawaii, to where, hell, even though Hawaii, one of the 50 states, a lot of us ain't never even been over there because the shit's so damn expensive. Will Canada give like that? Where even though it would be one of the states, the 51st states, will it be still like expensive to kind of go over there? Like how it is for Hawaii? So I don't know. I don't really have an opinion just yet on as far as when it comes to Canada becoming a state. I mean, it's still a place, like I said, I'd want to visit, but I don't have an opinion yet on how I feel about it being one of the states. I don't know if I care or not yet. So I guess I still have to learn more information about that. But I don't know. I mean, from what I hear, I think Trudeau, is that his name? The leader, the president or whoever over there, he's not really here for it. But I think I'm hearing that the people are here for it. The Canadian people. Y'all think Drake would be here for Canada becoming a 51st state? Do y'all think Drake would be here for being associated with the same country as Kendrick Lamar? I'm just asking, hell. We asking questions tonight. Now the people be like, we're family now. Drake and Kindred are family. We're all a part of the same country now. So Terry said that ain't happening, boo. Listen, Lynn, listen. So I'm like, Trump, like, listen, Trump one of the people he feel like hell. If you got the money, you can make it happen. So is he trying to take over other countries? He like, listen, they like, but we didn't say we was for sale. We did not say that we was on the clearance rack. What are you doing? What are you doing? But it's like Trump feel like, well, hell, shit, everything can be bought. I mean, to me, he gives that energy of like he feels like everything got a price on it. So if he want, if he's identified something that he wants, it makes sense for him. To me, it looks like he's going for it. So it'll be interesting to see what happened with Canada. Ivan said, if we wanted Canada, we would have had it already. Okay, so do you feel like we'll get it? I mean, it's been talks. Have you seen that? With Canada, with United States taking on Canada. Do you think that's kind of a real thing that the U.S. is interested in? Like I said, right now I don't really have an opinion on it. Doesn't make me any difference. I mean, I don't feel like, I guess, really for us Americans, it will really have really much of an impact. Like I said, only probably as we're traveling over there with the process with flying in over there, we'll probably see the difference with navigating through that experience, since it would be I guess it'd be considered a domestic flight now. But I don't know. Terry says again, ain't happening, love. He's driving this country to hell. You know what, Terry? Listen, I ain't finna be arguing with you on if he driving this country to hell or not, because every day when I turn my little laptop on and go to YouTube to get my damn news, because I don't watch the TV. I haven't had cable in like a lot of years, almost close to right, about 8 years. So when I go to YouTube to get my news and I see everything that's going on, I will honestly say it doesn't make me feel like our country is moving in the right direction. I don't feel like our country is moving in the right direction when I see everything that is going on. Uh, that's just not how I feel. Not that, it's not happening or it's not going to happen, but from what I see, that's not what I see. I see a lot of division. I see a lot of division, and it's very disheartening. And each day it's something else that I see that just driving people further and further apart. And I'm even seeing a lot of the, MAGA people are even in their feelings and upset. I seen someone today, someone sent me a video of a couple burning a Trump 2024 flag. And it looked like they were probably MAGA, and they had the flag already, so it looked like they were supporters. They already had his flag, but people are just not here for a lot of what's going on, because when they voted for him, the things that I guess he ran on, they didn't feel like some type of way it would seep over into their world, and it did, and people are feeling a way about that. Let Levi Dragon, can you shout out to me? Hey, Levi Dragon, I am well. How are you? Where are you at? What part of the world are you in? Please, if you have not already, hit the like button. Welcome. I hope you are having a wonderful evening. Happy Friday. It's almost Saturday here. I'm on the East Coast time in Georgia. It's 11:28. Scuba Steve said too much division. Yes, there is a lot of division, and that's what I feel. And that's why, so, previous video I did, check out my last video I put out, you all. I just talked about just the energy and us, us having to change our mindset on things, because we can no longer be in times where we go off the site, because there's so much just madness going on, to where we just got to move on faith, faith and prayer for better days. Because right now, if you're going off of what you see, it can be very discouraging. And especially with the people who are losing their jobs and they don't know what to do. They're like, what the fuck? Like, I understand. So my message is to go within and to seize opportunities to explore different things, different types of work. maybe starting up, for those who are still collecting like a severance, if you're a federal worker and you're collecting a check through until what, August, um, look into, something entrepreneurial, maybe something that you've been wanting to venture in, but take advantage of a lot of, some people have a lot of downtime. Take advantage of this downtime if those of you have downtime and you have a check coming in. um, just go into thought and just think about some things that you've been wanting to do that you just been putting off. Just think about that. What are some things you've been wanting to do, you've been putting off? What are some different careers that you may can venture in that you contemplated, but you were like, nah, because you were afraid and you didn't want to let go of something that you felt secure in? Well, child, you ain't got the damn job no more. So much with that. So you have no excuse now. Now, a lot of people don't have the excuse to try that very thing that they thought about. Like you don't have the excuse. And a lot of people, federal workers, they lost their job, or the ones who did the resignation. There was a lot of people who did that. They still have checks coming in. So for those people, if you're in a situation like that and you still got a check coming in, uh, take a chance on yourself. Try something different. If there was a business you contemplated starting, look into starting up that business. And even when it comes to working for someone, if there was just a different industry that you were kind of interested in, try to see if you can get a job in that industry. Because now the thing about it is, since a lot of you have lost your jobs, you don't have to worry about walking away from something that you felt comfortable in, because it's almost like, hell, the damn universe did it for you, removed you from that job. And things happen for a reason. And maybe for some people, you were removed from that job. So therefore you can do that very thing with stepping into that other opportunity that you were fearful of stepping into for whatever reason. So that's why my last video I talked about is like, we got to really take all of this in and really try to maybe make sense for ourselves as to what this could mean, because these changes and that are happening, what it means for me may be different than what it means for you. So you have to interpret, what does all of this mean for me? You know what's been going on with you. You know what kind of fears that you've been having, how you've been hesitant on doing certain things. You know things that somebody else don't know about you. So now it's like, okay, maybe the universe moved these excuses and these obstacles out of the way so you can do something that you should have been doing, but you just wasn't doing for whatever reason. For money, maybe. But now listen, you got some money coming in, or just out of fear. But explore that. All things happen for a reason. All things happen for a reason. All things happen for a reason. And here's the thing about with reasoning. Sometimes in the moment right away, we don't understand what that reasoning is. But we can't sit and waste time with our wheels spinning trying to figure out that reason either. We just got to continue to move forward. And guess what? As you're continuing to move forward with life, those answers, things will start to come to you. You'll be like, maybe that's why I was supposed to not be working for them anymore. Because if I was still working, I wouldn't have dared apply for that job. I would have been like, I'm not going to leave this job to go take a chance. No, I wouldn't even considered it. But because you were put in a situation to where that was the only option you had, you did it, because it wasn't like you're fearful of letting something that you feel like is solid go. How many of y'all been in a situation where you got something that's solid and it's something else you want to do, but you be like, damn, but I don't want to leave that because I'm kind of afraid. What if this don't work out? What if that don't work out? I don't want to leave this thing that I do know is working, even though I'm really interested in that. So you just hadn't explored it. But now what I'm saying is, if that thing that you were comfortable in was now suddenly removed from you, now what reason do you have to not explore it? So again, a lot of stuff comes down to how we look at it, how we look at it. So yeah, check out my last video. See what I had to say about that, because I kind of went deep into that. Because that's what I do. Any of you all who are new to my channel, Chic, my name is Chic. I go deep. My background is clinical mental health counseling, so I'm always my mom, it's so funny. My mom says I psychoanalyze everybody. She's right. I do. It never turns off. It never turns off. This is just what I do. I love people. I love studying people, and I happen to have education in it. And yeah, I just choose to not be a therapist and work in that field because I like talking to you all on the internet. But yeah, I just go deep and I psychoanalyze everything, and I'm looking for just a reason to try to make sense. That's how my brain works. I'm just trying to. It's always going. It's always going. So I always say when she got questions, she go live. When I got questions, I go live, and I bring the questions to you all. Let me see and get into some of these comments. So I see y'all people going back and forth talking about receipts. Stedio said Team Drake or Team Kendrick and why. Um, so here's the thing with that. Before the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, child, I didn't know no songs by Kendrick. I promise you, I didn't. I knew who he was, but Drake, I've never heard a song that I did not like by him. So when it comes to music, I'm Team Drake. When it comes to just this whole back and forth thing, Kendrick, I mean, I look at him as like this is local. You know, he's local for me. He's in the USA. He's California, West Coast. That's where I'm from. Like, so I'm kind of more like Team Kendrick, just because he's from home. Drake is he's Canadian. He's from over there, but I do like Drake music. So if I had to pick one, I would say Kendrick. But the only music I've listened to Kendrick is just the music he's come out with the whole Drake thing. So I guess I'm still a fan of Drake. So that's a tough one. But music wise, I love Drake's music. I've never heard anything by him that I did not like. I think too what I'm not liking though when it comes to Drake is how he's handling the beef with Kendrick. I feel like he's gotten in his feelings and he's become petty about it. So I'm not liking. To me, it's not giving a lot of masculine energy. It's giving, okay, you know how you lose and you want to take your ball and go home. You outside, your kids outside playing with the kids, and you playing kickball or something, and then the person who owned the ball, the kid who ball it is, his feelings get hurt. Somebody damn tripped him. He saw F all y'all. I'm going home. And he take his ball and go home. That's what Drake is giving. Drake is giving, fuck y'all, I'm taking my shit. I'm going home. Y'all get your own damn ball, you broke Dusty. Tell your daddy that you ain't got to go buy you a ball. I'm taking my ball and going home to my mama and daddy. That is what it's given to me. That is what it's given to me. So that's very petty. So that is kind of the part that I can't really respect, is because, sir, like, you can handle taking an L. I feel like Zelensky handled his L at the White House today better than Drake. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I like Drake's music, but when it comes to the whole masculinity thing, he's not moving with that masculinity, big D energy. I feel like Kendrick is. So there's my response on that. Ivan said politicians no longer being able to line their own pockets with government tax dollars being laundered by NGOs is considered incorrectly handling finances. Wow, yeah, okay, so you gave that comment to school, but listen, y'all work it out. Y'all work it out in these comments, but everybody gonna have an opinion. And here's the thing, I go live and I rarely do pre-records. It's not my favorite. I'm trying to do them more, but I like to go live because I like to engage. I'm glad y'all in here having some act right, because I ain't seen too many like crazy comments in here, and I don't think I got any mods in here tonight. So I'm glad y'all been showing me love in here, not doing too much. So I do appreciate you all for that. It's the little things. It's the little things. Just liking the video and just not cutting a damn fool. It's enough for me. It's enough for me. Let me see what else we got. Navy says a psychoanalyst bashing a person because of location. Yeah, yeah. I didn't bash him for location. I just said, I'm factoring in Kendrick is local. Now did bash Drake because of how he handling his loss. Now that's what I bashed him on. He took his goddamn ball, went the hell home. Why we couldn't still play? The game wasn't over with. The game was not over with. But I still like Drake music. So if I hear it, I'm not going to turn the station. But the thing I will say is like, I don't even hardly hear his music anymore. I went to San Diego for business a couple weeks ago, and I was sitting in the lobby of the hotel I was at, and it was a Drake song, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a Drake song, because I had not heard a Drake song in so long. And it's just like, wow, I do like that song. But since the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, I've been wondering what life would be like, if he would end up coming back over here and doing any tour, concerts and things like that. Because like I said, he took his damn ball. So they like, F you then. You keep you and your goddamn ball over there in Canada. So I wonder, if he'd be able to kind of show back up at the playground. When they say no take back, he done took his damn shit. So people are like, forget you, don't come back. Don't come back. You're not welcome. You're not welcome. So to me, that's kind of what I'm picking up from that. But y'all know Drake, he's suing. Y'all know Drake suing the NFL. He added NFL to his lawsuit from the Kendrick performance. Did y'all know that? Yeah. Drake is suing. He included NFL because of the Kendrick Lamar performance. I guess when he seen the goddamn nuns two step into that damn Kendrick song too, and the senior citizens, I guess he was like, oh hell no. Not the babies, the nuns and the senior citizen. Now y'all done crossed the damn line. Y'all done goddamn crossed the damn line. Everybody got their limits, their thresholds. So I'm like, damn, was it the nuns? Because I can't tell you how many damn nuns I done seen damn two step into the Kendrick song. I said, Lord Jesus, not the nuns, not the nuns, not the sexless nuns, not the asexual nuns. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Terry says, do you think Trump was right the way he talked to Zelensky? Oh, yeah, he was. It's like you in my house. You got to, when you going into somebody else's house, you got to kind of show a level of respect. And that's just basic, y'all. Just with any of us, of us regular people, you show basic respect when you go into somebody's house. And especially you're going to the house of someone who that they've assisted you in some type of way. You're going to show gratitude and appreciation. And Zelensky, he didn't do that. So Trump had to tell him about himself. Lesson learned. We live and we learn, right? We live and we learn. We live and we learn. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Please hit the like button while you're in. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Happy Friday. Let me see. What country y'all in? I see someone's name. I can't even see. You say you're very pretty smile. Thank you so much. What country are you from? I can't make out your name. Ivan said Zelensky showed us who he really is behind closed door live on broadcast TV. Yeah. What they say, you get one time to show a first impression. I honestly had never seen that man before. I never seen that man before because I think my husband was like, yeah, he always wears black. He always dresses the same. I'm like, I ain't never seen this man before. I ain't never seen him before, but I'm like, well, I mean, he embarrassed himself. He embarrassed his country. Hopefully he'll follow up, humble himself, send, an apology, but, maybe not. But it's like he's doing his country a disservice. So that's the sad part. He's doing his country. Hey, Angie R., how are you? She says, hey, honor students. I'm glad you were able to join. I know you're in Hawaii with the time and all. I thought about you. I said, oh, let me go live. Maybe Angie will be able to join. Hopefully, I'll probably be on here a little bit longer. My phone about to die. I've been on here for a little minute now. Ivan says Zelensky got spanked and sent to his room without dinner. Yes, that's a great translation, right? Just a great translation. He got spanked. He got spanked like Drake got spanked. Listen, it happens to the best of us. What they say, you win some and you lose some. You win some and you lose some. You can't win them all. But the important thing is the lesson that you get out of your experiences, because sometimes we don't always get the W. And sometimes we don't always show up at our best or show up in the best light, and we have to reflect on, how things went and know, okay, if you get another opportunity to kind of move differently. So it's life, it happens. I think, we all, I look at just different things that transpires as lessons that we all can kind of learn from. And I think this is one of those lessons of learning when to humble yourself, when to show gratitude, when to acknowledge that you may not have all the answers, when to at least be willing to take things into consideration. Because Zelensky could have easily said, okay, I hear what you're saying, I'm going to give it thought, like, versus just already having this mindset of just going against anything that Trump was going to say. Like, I felt like he already had it made up in his mind that you ain't Biden and F you and whatever you or your BP got to say. And then basically Trump, in so many words, cussed his ass out, without cussing him out. But Trump definitely said it with his chest. So I was definitely here for that. I was definitely here for that. Navy says, then why does Trump not show basic respect? Guess that just depends on, I guess, who you ask. I felt like, when it came to Zelensky, I didn't have any issue with how he dealt with him. I think he let Zelensky talk, but then when he had to assert himself, he did. I think he did. I think he handled him right. But, when it comes to Trump, people view him differently. Trump is who he is. Like I said, sometimes I'm here for what he got going on, and sometimes I'm like, I can't do this. Y'all would took me out. Y'all seen where he gave them people, what was that, the USA people? So I think they had to pick time slots to go and clean out their desks, 15 minutes or something. But did y'all see in the memo said, oh, and by the way, you need to bring your own damn box, tape, scissors, whatever you need that you feel like you're going to need to aid in your moving situation. You need to bring that shit yourself. I said, this is giving eviction. I'm like, this feels like an eviction. But I just was not ready for that. I wasn't ready. I said, Lord Jesus. So again, somebody asked about respect. I think Trump does do some things that does come off as though not being respectful of another fellow human being. But then I think he has his moments like today with Zelensky's where he had to damn show him better. Like, it's like, I can show you better than I can, that I can show you better than I can tell you. I felt like he had that energy with Zelensky that I was here for. But yeah, sometimes I do think that Trump can struggle with that, the respect thing. And I think a lot of these federal workers, how they've been losing their jobs and things like that, it hasn't been done with like dignity and respect. Like, imagine like with putting yourself in that situation and someone you've worked hard, and then somebody want to play on your top and try to tell you, well, we're letting you go because you ain't been doing your job, when you know damn well you've been going above and beyond, probably more so than the next person. But this is the reason they want to tell you that you're without a job, like I said, for the sake of time and just having a template that can be a one size fit all to go out to everybody. And when you're dealing with impacting jobs and letting people go, it's not a one size fit all. Like, people doing different jobs functions, people are putting different types of energy into their job, and you can't just tell everybody the reason of you're without a job because you was a piss poor employee. No, you can't do that. So no, that wasn't respect. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm not here for that. Welcome, everyone. Hope you all are having a good evening. And you all have hit the subscribe button. My name is Chic. I go live. I just talk about viral things. Typically, it's in the AM, but you all caught me on a late night. So this is a nightcap that I decided to do. So make sure you subscribe so you know when I go live. And hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Doesn't cost you a thing. Terry said he wasn't respectful at all. No, he's not. But, you still got people who feel like, hey, it is what it is. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she's a politician here in Georgia. I think somebody had said she had went on record. I don't know if she posted something saying that basically she was here for the job losses because she's saying like the taxpayers are paying the salaries of those workers who weren't doing anything anywhere, something like that. So like I said, I don't believe in lumping everyone together. I don't feel like everyone was a piss poor employee. Like I said, I think you're going to have those in any work environment. The goal is to not have any or to have as few as possible. But I'm not going to believe that hundreds of thousands, that it's in the thousands of piss poor employees, like on that level that everybody was a piss poor employee. I don't believe that at all. Ivan said if your company is on the verge of bankruptcy, you cut whoever you can afford to cut in order to save the company. Stop getting in your feelings. Um, yeah, here's my thing. I'm big on how you go about doing things. I just feel like it could have been done in a different way. Be real and just say you're the real reason why you're letting me go or whoever go. Don't make up some excuse because you just want to have a one size fit all template when you're announcing layoff. Like, just tell me, hey, I'm letting you go because hell, I need to cut. Like, tell me that. Don't give me some bullshit ass reason. Don't play in my face. So it's that part for me. And it seemed like this that for a lot of people. Like, don't be making up shit. Like, Ivan, like, think about for yourself. If somebody had to cut your job, do you want them to say, be upfront with, okay, Ivan, we just ain't got you in a buzz. We got to let you go. Or would you be here for them to give you some bullshit as reason? And you like, what the fuck you talking about? You going to look at them crazy. You going to be like, what? You gonna be, I still had to get it done regardless of how it was done. Yeah, and I don't agree with that on the regardless of how it was done. Because like I said, put yourself in a situation. They say, well, Ivan, we had to goddamn take your damn house because it's goddamn too many houses on the block. And you like, what? Where the fuck I'm supposed to live? Well, listen, we had to do it because these damn houses was damn too close together. We need your land. We need your land. That's why we need your land. So, yeah. So again, people are different. Some people I think will handle it as like, okay, it is what it is. But people who have family and responsibilities, I think that part makes a difference too when if it's just you that's impacted versus if you have a family. So it's not cookie cutter. So that's why I'm open to like everyone and how people feel because I know everyone's situation isn't the same. But Ivan, to your point, I do understand if it's identified of things having to take place, I get that too. But I do not want to ignore the fact that the way sometimes things are done, that can make it worse because sometimes it be that for people with how it was done. At least show me some type of respect or dignity when you're letting me go. Don't cuss me out and slam the door in my face just to say, hey, I appreciate your services. We have to let you go. Again, it's the delivery, it's how it's done. And a lot of these people with the way it was done, they feel like it was a slap in their face. So it was the how. And I just that's what it's been about for me. Oh man. So regardless, people have different opinions on things. That's what makes us different. But it's what's happening, and people have to live in it. Yeah, it is what it is. So you live. You got to keep going. You're impacted by some. It impacts you. You move on. Like I said, I've been impacted by a job cut twice. So I move on. But I will say, it makes a difference on the ways, the times that I did, have my job taken. It wasn't nothing like how with these people are going down. But, of the two jobs, there was one where I'm like, okay, well, damn, where it hit, differently than the first time. So, we're all different. We just have to respect one another. And if somebody's feeling a way about something, it's like, okay, well, you got to respect how they feel about it. You got to respect how they feel about it. People are human. People have responsibilities. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see, child. I'm sure by the time I wake up in the morning, it's gonna be something else that damn didn't hit the. It's gonna be something else that didn't hit, and I might be going live again. So y'all definitely want to make sure you got your notification bells on, as my phone is about to die. Since I've been on here, 142 minutes. Well, Ivan, you're right. You said they were asked to volunteer. When they didn't volunteer, they were voluntold. I mean, listen, people handled it the way they handled it. And yeah, one can only hope that they never find themselves in that type of situation where they were let go through an email for some shitty reason. Like, that's all I can say. Yeah, that's all I can say. But on that note, I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all make sure you hit the like button on your way out and have your notification bell on so you know when I go live. I'm sure I'll be going live in the next couple of days because it's always damn something. And I don't like doing pre-record, so I prefer to get on and just go live and shoot the breeze. But I do appreciate you all engaging in the conversation. Be a part of the replay gang if you came late or missed anything. And check out my other content if you're new to my channel and want to know who the hell is this lady? What's she talking about? I am Chic, and I be talking my talk. I be talking my talk. And he said, glad I made it, Chic. I'm glad you made it too. I be talking my talk. I be having a lot to say. Um, mhm. Ivan says, if you know that cuts are coming down the line and offered a compensation package, you take it. I get that logic, Ivan. I think too, here's another thing I was hearing. A lot of people was questioning if when he was offering that package and getting paid through what September, if it was something he was able to do. So some people were questioning if he was going to be able to really pay them like he was saying he was if they took it. So I do know that's why some people were hesitant on taking it. But again, like, you got to make the best decision for you. But many people chose to not take it. But also, from what I hear, some people, not everybody had the opportunity to even do the resignation. I know someone personally who worked for the IRS, and she was saying that not everyone's resignation was being accepted. Here's that. I didn't hear that in the media. She said everyone's resignation was not being accepted. So my particular friend, she didn't do the resignation or whatever. She's still employed through the IRS until May 15th because they need her. But she said that she do know that there were some people, whatever, who did put in for the resignation and it was not accepted. So her question, or the question she had, was, or she didn't ask them, but as she and I were talking, she was like, well, I'm wondering if even if I had accepted the resignation, if mine would have even been accepted, given that I was still a employee on probation, because she'd only been with the IRS since September. So she wondered if, they would have accepted her resignation, with her short tenure. But she was one that chose to not, try to go the route of the resignation. But she said even if she had of try to go through the resignation and say it was accepted, because of the type of work that she does as an IRS worker and it's tax season, she still would have had to work through May 15th. She has a family member who also is employed through the IRS, and she did the resignation and all of that. And also, she still has to actually still continue to do her job through May 15th because they found there to be a need for her particular job function. So there are some people who are still working, who did do the resignation and who didn't, but are still working to an end date I think her end date was May 15th. So, it's different situations, to each his own. Everybody got to make the best decision for them. And again, everything happens for a reason. So I challenge you all to just always go deep when things do happen to you. Maybe you can look at it in a way of saying, hey, this happened, or this may have, or this, just say this happened for me, and try to identify the positive. Because like I said, that thought, something happening could have kind of catapulted you into a direction that you never would have probably gone had that not happened. So it's all in the mind. It's in the mind, how you view things, how you view things. So that's my damn 2 cents. I done said a damn lot. It's about to be midnight. It's 11:58, y'all. And I've been playing around with y'all, but make sure you got your notification bell on so you know the next time I go live, because I be real impromptu. I can't remember the last time I scheduled a live. I just goddamn go live. That's the beauty of going live. It's the beauty of going live. I just damn hit the live button. It's like, she live, y'all. She live. So make sure you have the notification bell on so you know when I go live. But leave a comment. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about any of these things I talked about. Just drop a comment, check out some other content. Let me know your thoughts on just anything else that we may not have talked about that you'd like to kind of hear my thoughts and opinions on. Because, child, I always got a thought and a damn opinion. This brain is always going. It's always going. So I enjoy coming out here and talking to you all and engaging to hear your thoughts, even when they're to the contrary. Like Ivan, like the goddamn hell you say. Ivan given he given another approach, which I get because much of like what Ivan is saying, like my husband, like I would say a lot of what Ivan is saying is like stuff had to be done, this, and that. My husband's kind of like on that type of time. So I get it. And I'm the one to say, but I'm the feeling person. I told y'all my goddamn background is clinical mental health counseling. I feel everything. I be feeling stuff. So I get it. So my husband and I, we'll do the whole like I'm doing with Ivan. I'll do that kind of, with him or whatever. So I get it. I get it. I get it. So, we're all different and it's okay. It's just kind of having the respect for one another when it comes to our differences and just to be able to have these conversations. And I feel like, tonight was a good conversation. Nothing crazy because this chat can get crazy. Not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, this chat got insane. It was like 20 some thousand a couple of times people that came through and chat was insane. My poor moderators. So sometimes it can get crazy in the chat. So y'all see it's kind of quiet now, but y'all don't be surprised you catch me on another day and it's bonkers. It's bonkers. So same me, just different energy from the chat. Same me, y'all. So but I hope you all have a wonderful night and take care of yourselves and one another. Heavy on the take care of yourself because so many times, so often we taking care of everybody and neglecting ourselves. And that's a whole problem. Take care of yourselves. Ivan, you said you should have a guest speaker. How would I do that, Ivan? What do you mean? I seen that with the I think now with the live feature, you can bring people in. You talking about that? Live and as far as then I do on my phone. Lately I've been doing more of my lives on my lately I've been doing more of my lives from my phone, but I do see that I think you can like insert other people and things into your lives. It's just nothing that I've ever done. I'm usually solo dolo. I Years ago you might can find some content where I did some collaborations with people, but otherwise I'm solo. You're not gonna really ever see anybody on my panel. It just allows for me to better manage everything and maintain because it can get crazy when you start having people kind of come up on your stage, your panel, and child, next thing you know, craziness popped off and your whole damn channel gone. So I try to stay, stay on top of things and manage things myself. But I thank y'all for joining tonight, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night and a wonderful weekend. And be safe. And I will catch you all in the next broadcast. Peace. Angie R says, good night, Ivan. Ivan was the light of the party. Good night, Ivan.